Imagine this. You just got home from school or work and you find that you have some free time and you are deciding on how to spend it. Maybe some TV or some games, maybe some buffoonery with the guys, or scroll YouTube like you are doing right now. Well, 700 years ago during medieval times, you couldn't really do any of that, other than some buffoonery. See, people alive during medieval times had lots of pastimes such as dice, cards, board games, sports, singing, dancing, telling stories, drinking, each other, watching public executions. Anyways, today, we will be looking into some bizarre pastimes, starting with bear baiting. Was a popular blood sport from the 12th to 19th century. It involved an arena with a post in the ground near the edge of the pit with a bear chained by either the neck or leg. Dogs, usually old English bulldogs, would then be set onto the bear until either one is dead. On occasion, a bear would be set loose, causing it to chase the dogs and even people. Bear baiting was popular in many countries, such as Great Britain, Sweden, India, Pakistan, and Mexico. And even Henry VIII of England was a big fan of bear baiting and had a bear pit constructed at his Palace of Whitehall. In London, there was the Paris Garden, one of the more popular bear pits. Elizabeth I, or the Virgin Queen of England and Ireland, was also very fond of bear baiting, even going the length to overrule Parliament when there was an attempt to ban bear baiting. I assume it got old, constantly watching bears and dogs fighting for their lives, so they would eventually swap bears for bulls, or they would blind bears and then whip them. On one occasion, a pony with an ape tied to its back was baited. One spectator described, with the screaming of the ape, beholding the curs hanging from the ears and neck of the pony, is very laughable. A bear-baiting bear named Sackerson would even be written into a play by Shakespeare. In January 1583, a stand collapsed at the Paris Gardens and resulted in the deaths of several spectators. The Puritans viewed this as a sign of God's anger, not even because of the cruelty, but because the events would be held on Sunday. Bear baiting would be banned in 1660, but wouldn't die out in Great Britain until 1835. A gurn, or chuck, is a facial expression that typically involves projecting the lower jaw as far forward and up as possible, and covering the top lip with the lower lip. The English Dialect Dictionary defines the word gurn as to snarl as a dog. The Oxford English Dictionary suggests gurn's origins are from Northern Ireland, and the verb to gurn means to cry. Crying is often referred to as gurnin in Northern Ireland. Gurning contests date back to 1267 at the Egremont Crab Fair in England. Although we do not know much about the origins of the competition itself, we do know of tradition and legend with the competition still going on today. You may think that not much prep or seriousness goes into these competitions, but boy, would you be wrong. See, there is one major advantage you can have when gurnin, and that advantage is having no teeth. Here are some of the MVPs of gurning for you all. Peter Jackman became one of the most famed gurner, winning the world championship 4 times beginning in 1998 with the signature face called the Bela Lugosi. Peter Jackman would even have his teeth removed in the year 2000 to maneuver his face more easily. Tommy Mattinson would be the only gurner to win the world title 15 times, and even go on a 10-year winning streak between 1999 and 2010. Ann Woods would win the world title an astonishing 28 times. With the recent boom of gurning on the internet, I'm sure that gurning will not be going away anytime soon. Another good old blood sport, fox tossing, would consist of an arena constructed by a circle of canvas screens in the open or a courtyard of a castle. 2 people, almost always aristocrats, would stand 20 to 25 feet apart, holding the ends of a long webbed or cord sling, known as a prellgarn, or bouncing cloth, which would lay flat on the ground. There would be multiple couples next to each other, and the fox, or really any small animal, would have to run across, and whichever couple could toss the fox highest would win. Some of the higher throws could reach 24 feet into the air. A famous example of fox tossing would be Augustus the Strong, King of Poland and Elector of Saxony, would host a tossing contest in Dresden, where 647 foxes, 533 hares, 34 badgers, and 21 wildcats would be tossed and killed. It is said that Augustus himself participated and demonstrated his strength by holding the end of his sling by just one finger, and 2 of the strongest men in his court on the other end. The Swedish envoy Esaias Pufendorf witnessed a fox-tossing contest held in Vienna in 1672. Esaias would write in his diary about seeing the Holy Roman Emperor Leopold enthusiastically joining the court dwarfs and boys in clubbing to death the injured animals, and would, quote, small boys and fools as comrades, was to my eyes a little alien from the imperial gravity. Aristocrats would even combine fox tossing with masquerades in which the participants and animals would be decorated and masked. The men would dress as mythical heroes, Roman warriors, satyrs, centaurs, or jesters. The women would dress as nymphs, goddesses, or muses. The animals would be dressed up in bits of cardboard, gaudy cloth, and tinsel, and sometimes as caricatures of well-known individuals. PETA wouldn't know what to do in the Dark Ages. Cats were hated a lot during medieval times, seen as representing evil, witchcraft, vanity, and even female sexuality. Cats would have it really bad in 15th century France, where cats would be suspended over wood pyres, set in wicker cages, or strung from maypoles and then burned alive. All of these activities would be set during French festivals for entertainment, and sometimes cats would be doused with flammable liquid, lit on fire, and then chased through the town. After the cat would be long dead, peasants would pick up charred bits of the cat and taken home for good luck. Over in Ypres, Belgium, townspeople would start a tradition of throwing cats from a belfry onto the cobble streets below and then light on fire. This event would later be called Kittenstoet, meaning Festival of Cats. This festival still takes place today on May 2nd, but ever since 1817, the cats have been switched to stuffed animals. I hope you enjoyed the video and don't forget to like and subscribe.